Yo, what's happening people, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be going over some of my favourite Kontakt libraries and showing you a demonstration of the features as well as how they sound. Make sure you stick around for the whole video because I'll be showing a bonus free library at the end as well. If you're new to the channel, then make sure that subscribe button's grey and click the bell next to it too so you can be notified every time that I upload. So let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the first library. The first library I'm going to talk about is one of the newer ones from Native Instruments, and it's called Playbox. This one's a sort of chord generator with a few cool twists to it. Not only does it come packed with a load of cool chord progressions, but it also comes with some really nice sounding effects too. One of the main selling points that Native Instruments boasts about this library is that it inspires creativity and virtually puts an end to creative block. And to be honest, I can see why they say that. There's several different parts to this library, and you'll see that a lot of them have got this little dice icon. And as you can probably guess, this is going to randomize certain parameters within the library. Just to quickly go over these sections, first we have a chord section that comes with some pre-written chords. You can also come up here to clear all chords, and then you can actually input your own. The sample sections where you're going to find all of the preloaded samples, and you'll see that you've got these small cubes which indicate which type of sound it is. Then lastly, there's an effects section where you can add some of your favorite effects to the sounds. The fact that you can randomize all of these sections is going to give you an endless amount of possibilities and pretty much guarantee that you're never going to make two beats that sound the same. So what I'll do now is just demo how the library sounds, and I'll keep hitting these dice buttons so you can understand how the randomization features work. Next up is Ancient World from Big Fish Audio. This library is going to be perfect for you if you make any sort of medieval, ancient or ethnic type beats. This library contains a range of string, wind and percussive instruments, all of which are of a real high quality. Looking at the GUI, you're going to see that we've got some basic ADSR controls as well as some EQ and a reverb knob. But honestly, what this library lacks in features, it definitely makes up for in sound quality. The string sounds in this library are really nice, and I find myself going to this anytime I'm making ethnic melodies. My favourite instruments from this bank are the triangle harp, this ney flute from the wind section, and honestly all of the percussive sounds are really nice. The third library on the list comes from Westwood Instruments, and it's called the Lost Piano. I think it's fair to say no matter what genre you produce, a good quality piano is always going to be essential to have in your collection. And this one is genuinely so versatile that it will fit into any genre. The main part of this library allows you to pick two sounds from a wide selection, and then we have this large dial in the middle that lets you mix between them both. Each one of these sounds then comes with some basic shaping tools as well as some tools to affect the pitch and panning. If you come inside this mood section, you can also choose from some of these settings here, and this is going to drastically change the way the sound is played. I really like this OR setting as well as this yearn setting. Now in fairness, this home screen alone makes this plugin a great one for me, but there's so much more we can do by using some of these menus at the bottom. As you can probably guess, the processing section is going to allow you to add some effects like wow and flutter, compressors and distortion. But where the magic really happens for me is inside this memories section. On the right hand side, you can choose from some presets and different patterns which are going to add subtle arpeggiation rhythms behind the piano. Each preset from this section is really going to take that piano sound to the next level. Then the last menu is called places, and this is going to allow you to control the room ambience as well as the reverb and some noise. So what I'm going to do now is drag in some MIDI files from the brand new Patent Sounds Phoenix kit so you can get an idea of how this plugin sounds. Now if you like to add vocal samples into your beats and loops, then this next library is for you. The library that I'm talking about is the Vocalize bank, and this is one of my go-tos when I'm adding vocals into my loops. Inside the bank you can choose from pads, performance palettes, phrase menus and sustained vowels. But honestly the only section that I ever find myself using are the phrase menus. Once you come into this section, you'll see that you can choose from different key signatures. Now there aren't phrases for every key, but what I usually do is use the one that's closest to the key that I'm working in, then use Kontakt's built-in pitch controls to adjust it. Once you've loaded in a phrase library, you'll see that you've got some basic controls over the ADSR as well as some controls over effects like reverb, delays and chorus. You'll also see this big dial in the middle, and this controls the punish and twist parameters. Once you start experimenting with some of these, you can get some really nice sounds out of this library. Another really cool feature is hidden up here in the snapshots folder, where you can choose from ambient sounds, short sounds, as well as motion swells and motion pulses. And the last library I'm going to go over is the Hotel Piano by Patent Sounds. When we designed this library, we just wanted a nice simple piano that sounds really good out of the box. So when one of our guys, Dixon, was over in Portugal and he found a piano in the lobby of his hotel, we knew we had to sample it and release it as a Kontakt library for you guys. And the best thing about this library is it's 100% free. So if you like the sound of this one, you can go down to the description where you can grab your own copy. There aren't too many features to go over with this one, so I'm just going to let the sound from the library do the talking. So that is my list of Kontakt libraries that are essential to my workflow. If I missed out any of your favourite libraries, then make sure to leave the names of them in a comment and I'll be sure to check them out and may even include them in a follow-up video. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button before you leave, and if you're new to the channel, then do me a solid and turn that subscribe button grey. Big shout out to anybody that made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.